What if everything we've been told about the serpent was a lie? Not a devil, not an enemy, not a deceiver, but a messenger, a whistleblower, a being who broke the rules, not to corrupt humanity, but to free it. Genesis 3 verse 1 begins with a phrase so subtle, it's been overlooked for millennia. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. But in Hebrew the word used is aram. It doesn't mean evil. It doesn't mean sinister. It means intelligent, shrewd, aware. It's the same root used later to describe humans who have attained wisdom, not malevolence, consciousness. This isn't a talking snake. It's a being, an entity. And it knows something the Elohim don't want Adam and Eve to learn. Now consider what the serpent actually says. You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil. Notice the language. He doesn't say defy God. He doesn't say become evil. He says you will know. And what happens next? Exactly what the serpent predicted. Then the eyes of both were opened. The serpent didn't lie. He was right. So if the serpent told the truth, who exactly was he? Ancient Jewish texts, those left out of the official canon, paint a very different picture. In the book of Enoch we meet beings called the Watchers, sent to observe humanity, forbidden from intervening. But some do. They teach humans forbidden knowledge, agriculture, metallurgy, astronomy, medicine, weaponry. One of them is named Gadriel. And according to Enoch 69:6, he is the one who led Eve astray. Not Lucifer. Not Satan. Gadriel, a watcher with access to knowledge the Elohim wanted hidden. But what if leading Eve astray wasn't about corruption, but awakening? The serpent doesn't force. He doesn't deceive. He informs. And what he offers is knowledge, awareness, autonomy. And that's exactly what the Elohim fear. Genesis 3 verse 22 again. Behold, the man has become like one of us. Not because he rebelled, because he learned. In this light, the serpent isn't a villain. He's the catalyst, the one who initiates human consciousness. The forbidden fruit wasn't poison. It was code. And the serpent? He was the original programmer. Now think about the structure of Eden. A walled garden. 2 trees, 2 interfaces. One grants awareness. The other grants immortality. And in between, a gatekeeper. But the serpent bypasses the gate. He hacks the system. He opens a door. And that's why he had to be erased. Not punished. Silenced. Let's follow the echoes of the serpent beyond Genesis. In Mesopotamian iconography, the god Ninjishzaida, lord of the good tree, is often depicted as a serpent emerging from a portal. He was the keeper of sacred knowledge, the intermediary between gods and men. In Sumerian texts, serpents weren't evil. They were symbols of healing, wisdom, transformation. Even the caduceus, the staff still used to represent medicine today, features 2 serpents coiled around a rod. Not one. 2. Duality. Balance. X. Now look at the ancient Greek myth of Prometheus. He stole fire from the gods. He gave it to humanity. And for that crime he was chained to a rock, tortured for eternity. Prometheus didn't bring destruction. He brought progress. And for that the gods punished him. Sound familiar? The serpent in Eden didn't bring death. He brought choice. And that choice, knowledge, freedom, autonomy, made humanity unpredictable. The Elohim wanted obedience. The serpent gave them consciousness. Which begs the question, was the serpent the true liberator? And if so, what does that make the Elohim? Because here's the most dangerous idea of all. What if the serpent wasn't acting alone? In some ancient texts, the serpent isn't a creature, it's a disguise. A form taken to interact with lower beings without revealing true identity. In the Gnostic gospel of the Nag Hammadi, the serpent is reimagined entirely. He's not evil. He's the bringer of light. The Elohim are not benevolent creators, but jealous beings, archons, who fear what humanity might become. And the serpent? He's sent by the true source, the unseen force behind all life. In this version, the serpent is a rebel agent of the original creator, trying to liberate humanity from a false system of control. Think about what that means. The entire Eden narrative becomes a cover-up. The sin wasn't disobedience. It was awakening. The crime was curiosity. And the punishment? Severance. Quarantine. A wall between humans and the very beings who feared what they might evolve into. This flips the entire theological structure on its head. The serpent isn't the villain. He's the one trying to break the simulation. He offers truth, and for that he's demonized. He opens the eyes of Adam and Eve, he doesn't blind them. But maybe that's why he's so dangerous. Because once you see the system, you can't unsee it. So the next time someone asks you, who was the serpent? Don't say Satan. Say, the one who tried to set us free. Next episode, we'll revisit the most misinterpreted verse in all of Genesis. God took one of Adam's ribs. But in Hebrew, the word tzilah doesn't mean rib. It means side, or chamber. And that opens a whole new possibility. Eve wasn't born from a bone. She was cloned from genetic architecture. What you thought was a miracle of love may have been a surgical extraction. Let's go deeper. But until then, answer this in the comments. Was the serpent a traitor? Or the only one telling the truth?